So, hello everyone. A very good morning to one of you present in the class. Please confirm the chat box if you all can see my screen and hear my voice loud and clear. Thank you. So, so we'll be starting our session in another 2 minutes. I'm just seeing people are still joining. In the meantime, let me know what's the status of the assignment. How many of you completed this weekend? Actually, there was some production issues, so I didn't saw the Google Drive yet. But yeah, just type completed. If you have completed your assignments, the RAG assignment, two assignments I gave you, assignment 1 and 2. Today I will be exploring the Google Drive, by the way. Okay, because last 2 days actually there was some production issues, so my team and myself, I was engaged like anything. In fact, yesterday 2 o'clock only things got resolved, so hardly 4 hours sleep. Yeah, good. Okay, so today we are going to start our journey of agentic AI. Of course, there are some prerequisites that we will be covering in today's and tomorrow's class. Okay. So the tool, of course, that we'll use is LangGraph to build the agents. But before we get into the LangGraph side and everything, we'll just quickly discuss what are agents again and what is the major difference between agents and agentic AI and what exactly is agentic AI. Okay. Now, whatever definition or the jargon I'm going to discuss with you all, it's purely based on my experience and the progression that's happening in this term. Okay. Now, remember one thing, ideally, this jargon, agentic AI, still is evolving. Okay. Every month, I see every creators sharing their own definition of agentic AI. But all of them have one single common factor. And what is that common factor is something I will be explaining you. So first thing first, see, if you observe the pattern of our class, the first 5 days we focused on Gen AI application development, right? The first 5 days we focused on Gen AI application development. Sixth day was the day when we came out of the Gen AI side and we shifted to agents. So we learned independently what are agents and we also developed some different kind of agents. So starting from there, everybody. So what is an AI agent? Let me start this question before I jump into what is agentic AI. What is an AI agent? Ideally. So if I want to give a definition or a statement or a jargon, anything for this, I can say something like this. I can say an AI agent is a system. For me, it's a system that I can say, number one, perceives. Perceives what? Perceives basically in this case means I'm referring to the fact that the system can read the query, read the human message. I'm using this term confidently because I'm assuming everybody understands the term human message. Human message means the user input. Read the human message plus the context plus the environment. Now, what do you mean by the term context here? Context means context means this can be your system message or what else it can be? It can be your prompt template or what it can be. It can be your retriever chunk. This is something which we have learned, yes or no, everybody? We have learned all these things, and I hope everybody can perceive this point in your mind. Environment means what? Environment basically means the tools that you have designed. The tools, if you remember, we designed CSV tool, we designed the web search tool, we designed the calculator tool. I mean, in our practicals, in the tools section in the last class, we designed that, right? So those fall in category of tools. Along with tools, what we have? We have the vector DBs, maybe. Along with this, maybe we have documents also, the raw documents or the document objects, or maybe the APIs, maybe the API. So this is what we call it as environment in general perspective. So what is an AI agent? An AI agent is a system that can perceive these entities, number one. Number two, I can say that can think. That can think. Think means what? More specifically, what I taught you was React framework. Think means what? React. Reasoning and action. So basically what I'm trying to say here is I'm trying to say uses reasoning, uses reasoning to decide the next step. To decide the next step. Everybody, when we ran an agent, you all have observed the logs, yes or no? In the logs, you are saying the system is reasoning himself that why I should use this tool. What is the output, how I shall interpret. I hope everybody observed that, right? When you write the outputs. So that's called think here. After thinking, comes act. Once again, same thing, React I taught you, right? Wherein act, what exactly it will do? I can say it will execute an action. It will execute an action, maybe using, I mean, in our class, what we saw is how actions are executed using a tool. We saw that. We also saw API, that is Taveli. We also saw a function, by the way. Now you may see, Prashant, which function are you referring to? If you remember, basic LangChain chains function, the normal Python function converted into decorator, even that can be a function, by the way, just to give you an idea. It can use search engine. The Vedi was once again example for search engine, but you can use different search engines, like DuckDuckGo, Google search. Google search is paid, but the point is you can use it. Bing search and everything. You can also use code interpreter. Or maybe you can use LLM itself. I mean, possibilities are endless here. This can also be a machine learning model. In fact, I have worked on a project where in the action phase, a machine learning model gets invoked, a regression model gets invoked to do, a time series model gets invoked. I have worked on such projects also. It's more like a hybrid solution. So point is, it can be anything. Next what? Along with the act, it also does one thing. It also learns, very important thing. It learns or iterates. What I'm trying to say here, the agent uses the result. The agent uses the result of actions. Whatever actions he performed, he observes the result. For example, here in the last class also, if I just quickly show you any example, let's say DB tool here. So see, he is invoking, though this is the action, and he reads the result of the action. He reads the result of the action. So that once he reads the result of the action, what he does? He will learn from that. Either he will optimize the result if required. Maybe there will be one more loop that will run, or maybe he will get convinced with the result and he will give the output. Something like that. So it uses the result of actions to refine the next step. Either the next step will be display the output, or the next step will be call another tool, or the next step will be not convincing the result, therefore reiterate. It can be anything. It can be anything. Okay. Last. So see, in general, when we talk of an AI agent is a system that can do these four things. Or if I want to put it a single statement on everything, if you don't want this detailed definition, I can simply say an AI agent, an AI agent is an AI system, is an AI system that can make decisions, that can make decisions, use tools, and take actions to achieve a goal. That's it. A single liner statement also you can think of. If especially if you're in an interview, if you want to answer, you can just give one liner. If they ask for more detail, you can talk about this basically. See, and whatever I am writing here, I hope everybody in the class can visualize this in your mind. Yes or no? Based on the last lecture. Because that is important for me. My style is little different. I first show the things, then I teach the definition. Because this is the way how you can realistically witness and I can say relate the definition with what you have done till now. Okay. So a very simple, I can say a stable definition of AI agent is something I have gave you. Okay, because let me tell you once again, these jargons are changing month by month, frankly speaking. Earlier, there was no concept of reiteration. Now, reiteration also is done by AI agent. Before that, there was no concept of perceiving, because perceiving was done by chains, not by agents. It was later the chain that was involving agent. But now agent can perceive independently. So what is happening is things are evolving, everybody. Maybe not sure in the next month, maybe you may see one more point about AI agent, which is not, which is like introduced by OpenAI, which you will see by the way. I'll not put that in this class, but the point is this definition is evolving. Okay, what is an AI agent? I hope everybody is clear. Kindly confirm first. Only AI agent. Once again, I haven't started agentic yet. I mean, I'm talking about the definition and discussion. I only told you what is an AI agent. So as an analogy, think of AI agent as a worker. Think of AI agent as a worker. That's it. Do not think anything more than worker. A person who has access to tools, who has access to his own knowledge, who has consciousness to decide whether the answer is right or wrong. Like that. That's what an AI agent is. Okay. Now, yes, an intern. So I'm not skipping any questions. I'm deliberately holding those questions. Huh? Let me complete the topic. Automatically, those questions will be answered. So coming back here. Now, I mean, just for notes purpose, let me write it down. Though it's not required, I know. But still, only for documentation purpose, I'm writing. So examples of AI agents. Though we have practically saw the examples, but still, I'm just writing some examples for you. Which even if I haven't covered, you can explore about it. That's why. The first example would be a web search agent. So web search agent. Now in our class, I shown you Taveli. But apart from Taveli, now you can do your research, okay? Because not everything can be covered in 30 hours. I hope you understand. So you can research DuckDuckGo. You can research Y Finance. Easily GPT it. You will get the codes also, everybody. You can research. You need to do some efforts to learn more, okay? You can do DuckDuckGo. You can do Y Finance. If you are ready to pay, use Google search. Trust me, spend at least $1. It's okay. Because you should experience these things, okay? These three are something you should experience along with Taveli, is my personal recommendation. Next, along with the web search agent, we can also have an example of a data analysis agent. Guys and girls, we have solved this, okay? the data analysis agent, wherein the analysis agent was prepared using pandas logic. Then we have the summarization agent. Summarization agent means LLM has been used to summarize the outputs. LLM used to summarize the output. Now this is by theory. Practically it's not the LLM, it is the chain, where the chain contains what? The template plus LLM plus string output parser. Practically you are hosting a chain inside a function, and that chain acts as an agent, everybody. That's the summarization agent. Practically we use chain, we never use LLM alone. And the chain contains minimum template plus LLM plus string output parser, maybe a routing chain also, depending on the situation. Because if the summarization is done on structured data, summarization strategy will be different. If the summarization is done on text data, the strategy will be different. So for numerical data, it will be statistical summary. For the non-numerical data, it will be the Prezi writing. So two different tools are responsible for that. So that's where we use routing techniques. I'm just giving you some clarity, everybody, in production level. So this is summarization agent. Similarly, another example would be my personal favorite, which I always use in most of the websites. That is the calendar booking agent. Blocking your dates, blocking the conference room dates, done by an agent. Last but not the least, the complex agent, we call it as the workflow automation agent. Dynamically creating the RAG object, that falls in the category of workflow automation agent. Or maybe running some other agent like n8n agent, or maybe like Autogen Studio agent or something similar. Short and sweet. Okay, so these are some of the examples that you can explore more. Basically, in our class, directly and indirectly, I taught you this, I taught you this. Okay, remaining three, you can research. Okay. So this is all about agents in general. This is all about agents in general. Okay. So now this is all about AI agent. Now let me jump into my next jargon. The next jargon is, what is agentic AI? I hate to say this, but the reality is still there is no clear definition of agentic AI. Some of you, those who are convinced with some definitions, trust me, they are not clear definitions because it's evolving. Once again, like how I said about AI agents, agentic is evolving. Okay. So, what is agentic AI? So, if I want to give a single statement first, a single statement, not even a definition, maybe I can give something like this. I can say agentic AI, I can say, is the whole ecosystem. Is the whole ecosystem that users pay attention, that uses multiple agents to solve end-to-end complex multi-step task. Multi-step task automatically. One minute, sorry. And a very important keyword, autonomously. And a very important keyword, autonomously. Automatically and autonomously. Earlier it was automatically, now it's automatically and autonomously. So, I mean, if I want to put it in a different way, I can say in agentic AI, you involve, of course, you involve LLM, no doubt. You, of course, involve tools. You, of course, involve planning. This is something which is new. System that is doing planning to achieve a goal. For example, if someone says, planning means what? I mean, if I want to explain planning in a very simple jargon, I can tell you something like this. For example, let's say, um, uh, maybe something like this. I mean, just hypothetically speaking, let's say user says, I want to exchange my shirt I bought from you. Normal Myntra example. The bot will say, this is the user interaction. The bot will say what? Please share order ID. For which the user will say what? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Or my order ID so and so. Now what happens? What happens when the bot receives this information? Planning will happen. What is the goal? The goal is to honor the exchange. The goal is to honor the exchange. So maybe I can say, first of all, I will check. Check what? If request within exchange window. Okay, before that, I will also check one more thing. If product exchangeable. If product exchangeable. If yes, then check if request within exchange window. If no, my favorite, every business favorite, apology with reasoning and continue chat. Continue or close chat. If request within exchange window, once again this is checked. Yes or no? If no, every business favorite thing, apology with reasoning and continue or close chat. If yes, then check order details. Then check for availability of product, of new item maybe. Just giving an example. I'm assuming there's a chat done what he wants to be exchanged with, or maybe the size change. Order new item and print return label. Maybe. And then dispatch new item. Something like this. So short and sweet here, if you observe, for checking the order details, what it does? Combination of database and LLM. So it uses the agent, DB agent. Check for availability of new item. Maybe API to check the SKU values, to check the whatever, what we call ERP section, the ERP engine. or SAP engine, whatever engine is used by the system to manage the inventory. So the API to check the stock SKU and count, order the new item. Once again, API, it can be your courier or it can be your whatever ERP. Here also, maybe one more thing, BB agent also will get activated. Here, once again, your API for interaction with the courier company. So short and sweet, what is happening? Short and sweet, what is happening? The ecosystem that uses multiple agents to solve end-to-end complex multi-step task. Multi-step task. Automatically and autonomously. Why I'm saying autonomously? Because these things are taken care dynamically. This flow is automatically prepared by your agentic application. This is not hard coded by you. This nowhere in the program you will tell him the steps. These steps are automatically figured out by LLM. Because LLM understood our application. When that achievement happens, then only I can say you're working on agentic AI application. Anywhere, if you involve the process of decision making, game over, you're still in Gen AI system. But yeah, let me tell you, none of the agentic AI application in this world is fully autonomous. 70% autonomous, maybe. Fully autonomous, at least for now. In future, maybe. At least for now, my answer is no. At least for now, my answer is no. Okay? So, yeah, every time you will observe human in the loop. You're right. Every time you'll observe there's human in the loop. And this is the practicality because people still don't trust agentic AI. People still don't trust. Obvious reasons. Business, come on, they don't want heavy losses. They are trusting at the POC level, but production, they still rethink. Okay, so the point is, coming back here, agentic AI technically is all about achieving what? So just with this example, you can get an idea. Agentic AI is all about achieving goal-oriented planning, multi-step reasoning. Moreover, these 2 pointers are something which you need to master. I mean, which your application needs to master. Because if these 2 things are mastered, let me tell you, you cracked almost 80% of the agentic AI problem for the given use case. Okay. So here, coming back to my statement, what I was writing here, if I coming back to what I was actually displaying here. So I was just giving a statement of what is agentic AI, where I said it's a whole ecosystem that uses multiple agents to solve end-to-end complex multi-step tasks autonomously and automatically, where it combines the usage of LLMs, tools, planning. So planning I have explained you. Along with planning, of course, we also need memory. Come on, chat preservance. We have learned how to use memories, by the way. Same thing you will learn in LangGraph also, but in LangChain we have learned that, right? Next, we also may require knowledge graph. Maybe for this use case, no. But let's say if I'm talking about troubleshooting someone's problem using technical guide. So that becomes a knowledge graph. So maybe we require knowledge graph. That's the agentic RAG. Or maybe we require a simple RAG. It depends on use case to use case. Maybe we require a system for multi-agent coordination. Multi-agent, I'm not talking about tools, multi-agent configurations. So, you know, like I can say flight booking plus hotel booking. Flight booking is one agent, hotel booking another agent. If flight booking is successful, based on the arrival time, the hotel booking should be done such that the check-in time and travel time is adjusted well. I don't want my customer to just stay in the reception just because the room is not ready. So 2 agents are coordinating together to identify the best timing or the best hotel to select. Something like that, based on the itinerary that the user is planning. Something like this. Autonomous travel agent, basically. So multi-agent coordination. Then we have the HITL, my personal favorite, because this is what every client needs from me. They want human in the loop everywhere. Even though they are saying, I want to make an agentic AI application, but they still make it as an agent application. Human in the loop, because they want agents, they want human to see what is happening. They want to take some control over decision making. Whereas agentic AI says decision making is done automatically. So this is just a single definition. I'll not say definition, a simple statement on the term agentic AI. Till now, what you all have learned with me is you all learned independently how to handle LLMs, how to handle tools, how to handle memory, how to handle knowledge graph. I mean, knowledge graph, basically agentic graph, we are going to learn in the current lecture. Basically, in the eventual 2-3 days, you will learn this. But yeah, you have learned this area. So what you have learned till now is you learned Gen AI plus tools. Now we are taking ourselves to next step, that is planning, multi-agent coordination, and HITL. And yeah, before we go for multi-agent coordination, I'll take one example of multi-tool coordination also. So that is also is equally important for you to understand, though it's not a part of your course, but I'll give you one program for that because I feel you should know it. So multi-agent coordination. Okay. So these are the technical things that we are going to see in our upcoming lectures. So the remaining lectures, we are going to focus on this. So in general, I hope directly or indirectly, you all are getting a difference here. You all understand the difference between the AI agent and agentic AI. Remember, AI agent is different, agentic AI is different. They are not the same. Okay, let me just explore the chat once. Let me see all the questions. I'm just scrolling up from the beginning. So I'll just go by order. Let me see what all questions was been asked. Surjaya, can we touch on the design part? Can we touch the design pattern so that we can map these to relevant pattern, reasoning action loop? Wait for some time, Surjaya. Trust the process, okay? Design, agentic design pattern, we are going to discuss. There will be one dedicated lecture on that. We are going to discuss that. But before that, there are certain more things that I want you to understand. Okay, Jimit, can we say agentic AI is a system or applications using AI agent? It's a system because who will coordinate the application? If you are writing a if condition and all, then it's not agentic system. Agentic AI is a system that can coordinate multi-agents. Let me put it that way also, depending on the situation. Jimit, how do we keep up with the evolving AI agent definition? Research, research, research. That's the only answer. There's no secret here. Stay up to date with all the blogs of AWS, all the blogs of OpenAI, all the blogs of Meta, which they where they talk about agents, where they talk about agentic, where they talk about Gen AI. You will stay updated. Yeah, it's a process that you need to follow. Vishal, I do not see verbose option LangChain 1. For now, please don't use LangChain 1, Vishal. LangChain 1 is not yet stable. They are evolving. They are going to add verbose later. Right now, they are experimenting. Don't use LangChain 1 for now. Ram, could you share any agentic AI real-time use case for financial domain? Ram, unfortunately, 30 hours class. Don't expect me to cover all the domains. I'll try my best. Let's see what I can do. Surjaya, why these cannot be handled by conversational AI flow? Because you are controlling, then it's not autonomous flow. If you use dialog flow and all, you are the one who is writing the logic. Here, agent is not, here the system is not being built to autonomously decide which tool to be used. Here you have hard coding the stuff. So I'm not saying you can't solve this problem using conversational AI flow. You can do it, no doubt on that. But once again, the same story. If whatever's the limitations of conversational AI flow, that has been eliminated by agentic AI. Think in that perspective. Sulja, also that can use easy cloud native integrations. Yeah, you can integrate. Yeah, I mean, you can create a function, convert it into a tool, and you can use it, of course. Jimit, just to understand definition of planning, does it mean agentic AI does end-to-end planning autonomously? Yes. In our scenario, product exchange planning end-to-end from request to resolution, exactly. Actually, it is the application that should do all the things. There should be no human in between. But practically what happens is 70% is planning is autonomous, 30% is human in the loop. For example, see, there are certain use cases where human in the loop is required. Best example I can give you is right now Airtel is using their bot to resolve the internet speed issue. Whenever you chat with the bot via the Airtel app, you will observe that most of the internet speed issues are resolved automatically without human intervention. It automatically tries to restart your router, clear the cache automatically online. It will also try to check with the nearest node for the speed. If the issue gets resolved, it gets automatically resolved by the bot. But if the bot realizes still the speed is not working, then HITL comes into picture and they will raise a support ticket for human intervention. So see, it sometimes in certain domains, certain use cases, certain queries, human in the loop is required for sure. But in for certain scenarios like product exchange, refunds, normally human interaction is not required, but still, e-commerce companies fully doesn't trust agentic AI, so they are still saying 70%, 30% kind of thing. So maybe it will evolve later, but not now. Maybe it will evolve later. Evolve in the sense means acceptance in the market. I'm not talking technology. Technologically, it's stable, by the way. Okay, so everybody, this was just a basic understanding or basic, I can say start or kickstart for you to start your journey on agentic AI. Now, like I said, my style is different, little different, and you all have realized it right from day one. Okay, right now for the next 2 days, I am going to teach you LangGraph in bits and pieces, and you must tolerate that. Trust me, because once you understand some core components of LangGraph, then I can teach you how to create an autonomous flow, how to create a planning loop, how to create an execution loop, how to create an HITL, and through that, how to create an autonomous application. That's something which we are going to see in our upcoming classes. Okay. So first 2 days, mostly we will be going through the bits and pieces of the components of LangGraph. So I request everybody to be attentive in the class and bear with me with the process. Some of you may feel things are going out of scope, but trust me, it will help you in long run. Okay. So I hope you all are ready for LangGraph lecture. And you confirm the chat box. 2 days, bear with me, okay? 2 days, bear with me. Like how I said earlier, 4 days, bear with me for LangChain, and now 2 days, bear with me for LangGraph, okay? There are certain things that I want you to understand syntax-wise. Because without understanding those, later when I tell you the stuff, it will bounce like anything. So I don't want that to happen. And if you observe till now, I haven't touched any projects given in EduReka also. And there's a clean reason for that. Reason is you are not yet ready to observe those projects. If you have done self-learning and all, that's a different story. But I'm talking in my course space, you are not ready. We will be ready on day 10. You will be ready on day 10. We are in day 7 right now. So you'll be ready on day 10 to explore those questions and solutions. And as a matter of fact, you will be capable to prepare better solutions than the one that is available. And that's what I will expect from you. You will be able to do prepare better solutions. Okay. And of course, I'll be giving you my version of solution also. Okay, so let me see. Ram, is there any specific certification available? Certification part, Ram, please remind me on the last day of the course. I will give you some suggestions. Praveen, do we have any mechanism to check performance of Gen AI? See, let me tell you, Praveen, it is still evolving. There are some metrics like ROG, Blue. There are some metrics available, but it is still evolving. The only thing that people are now judging is based on accuracy of the outcome received. So they are logging all the outcomes and they are comparing it with human. Well, basically they have a data set of the logs based on the past historical chats done by the human and the basically done by the human. Based on that, they create feature label set and they go for evaluation. So that's the technique that has been used till now. But yeah, there are certain evolutions happening. Okay. Not birds, blue, BLEU. Blue score is there, and then we have many scores, but once again, not reliable. Trust me when I say that. Okay, so let's come back here, everybody. So today is day 7, and yeah, I will be sharing notes and all. So don't worry, you all know me. So don't ask me about notes and all. I will share. Okay, I will share. So come outside, man. So first of all, answer is no, Vishal, not in scope of the course. Huh. Next, let me start with Landgraph basics. There are some prerequisites that I want you all to get comfortable with. So let me copy this. Once again, guys, you are learning the ABCs. Very, very important. Without learning alphabets, you can't prepare word. So here, the first thing first that I want to introduce you all, which you will always work with, irrespective whatever framework you're working with, whether you work with LangGraph or whether you work with Azure AI Foundry, or maybe AWS is also coming up with a tool there. That's still an experimental, but yeah, everywhere when it comes to defining a graph or defining a state, you all are going to use something called as type dictionary, or you all are going to use something called as Pydantic. Okay, type dictionary or Pydantic. So initially, I'm going to give you a clarity on how to use Pydantic and how to use type dictionary to create the land graph objects. Now, first of all, what is land graph in general? So, I mean, officially speaking, now if I go to the LangChain website and show you, products, land graph. See the first thing that they have written here. In fact, when I click here, see the tagline. The tagline is build custom agents with low level control. See, this is the point. Low level control. Low level control means what? You are going to build everything from scratch when you use LangGraph. Whether you talk about agents, whether you talk about RAG, whether you talk about the multi-agent coordination, whether you talk about the planning framework, anything, orchestration framework, everything, you are going to design it at the low level. Means you have the full control. And by the way, recently, LangChain released something called Deep Agents. Now, this is not a scope on our course, but study this. Huh? This is going to be a game changer, by the way. This is going to complement everything for LangChain and LangGraph, Deep Agents. It's completely new, not in scope of course, and this is something which released 1 month back only, by the way, 1.5 months to be more precise. So, LangGraph is what? It balances agent control with agency. See, agent control with agency. See, agency means what? Agency means what? Agency means the ecosystem holding multiple agents for performing multiple tasks, multi-step tasks autonomously. So gain control with LangGraph to design agent that reliably handle complex tasks. And of course, I mean, you can see here the you can add human in the loop. You can build expressive and customizable agent workflow. So you have this is called orchestrator framework, the one which you just now saw. Either you can build a single agent, or you can build a multi-agent, or you can build a supervisor. This is called supervisor based agent or orchestrator. So this is an orchestrator orchestrating everyone, like manager and workers, like that. So there are different agent architectures. See this website, if you click here, you get a complete documentation of different types of workflows, like prompt changing, parallelization, orchestrator, worker, evaluator, router. Guys and girls, all these things will cover, don't worry. And this will be there in my last lecture of agentic AI design pattern. So all these things will be there. Okay. So they have a very good documentation. But yeah, coming back to the point, what is land graph? The word graph means what? What is the meaning of the word graph? It has nodes and edges. It has node and edges. So for example, here, what I'm going to build in front of you is, I'm going to build a very simple graph. I'm going to build a very simple graph. So I'll say this as hello world graph. Once again, we are learning bits and pieces. Do not try to deep dive into applications for now. Okay. Learn the bits and pieces first. So everybody knows basic flow chart. So it will always start, sorry, it will always start with a start. Then in our example, what I will do is I will create a hello node. Then I will create a buy node. Then I will end the program. And it will be uniform, uniflow basically. Okay, start, hello, buy, end. This is something that we are going to design. This is something that we are going to design. So, as per the jargon of LangGraph, these are called as nodes. So this, this, and this. These are called as nodes. Whereas this arrow, this, and this arrow is called as edges. And this entire graph, these are called as state. So whenever you're designing any agent or multi-agent system using LangGraph and LangChain, the first thing that you will do is you will define a state. Then you will define the nodes. Then you will define the edges. So three-step process. Define state, define nodes, define edges. Once you define these three, then compile the graph, which will technically create a graph, and then execute the graph. This is the kind of process that you will be following. This is the kind of process that you will be following. So in my example, I am just showing you how to create a state. So to create a state, there are two options. The first option is you can use typed dictionary. So what is typed dictionary? First of all, you need to import from this package from typing, import type dictionary. Type dictionary is to use define dictionaries with fixed set of key value pairs. Everybody knows what is dictionary in Python. This is the same thing. The only difference is type dictionary class will allow you to set up fixed keys and values. So I can define that this dictionary will have only one key called messages, and the data type of the value will be string. So I am fixing what? I'm fixing the key values basically. So here I have created a state called hello world state, which extends type dictionary. Now here I am creating my node. Now remember, I am using the term tool here because usually all the nodes that you define in LangGraph are tools. It can be CSV extractor tool, it can be data analysis tool, it can be web extractor tool, it can be your RAG tool, it can be anything, whatever you learned till now. All those things can be a single node. That's the beautiful thing. So I have created a simple hello world tool which will simply print hello, nothing more than that, everybody. And it will return this message, hello, whatever data you supply. By the way, remember here state is a object of hello world state. Hello world state is a dictionary that holds this key. So I'm extracting the message value using this key, state of message. Simple dictionary value extraction. I created a by tool, simple thing, state hello world from by node. Same thing, everybody. Now to create a graph. Now remember, if you observe, I have created the relevant nodes. I haven't created start node and end node because start and end is universal. LangGraph team has already given start and end node by default. So I'll be using that. Why to create one if they already have one? So I am initializing a graph. I call this, I'm using the class called state graph. in which I am adding my state. And here I am simply saying graph.add node to add all the nodes. So remember, here I am giving the name of the node. Here I am giving the tool function. Name of the node, tool function. Next, adding the edges. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a connection here. So I'm saying from start, go to hello. From hello, go to bye. From bye, go to end. So here I have created my graph as per what I shown you in the whiteboard. Next, I am setting up the entry point. So what I'm informing my system is always start from here. So start is obviously there, but setting, if you don't declare start, you can even declare using set entry point. Two methods are there. You can use any one, you can use both, no harm. And then I'm simply compiling the graph. If I made any mistake in the graph, it will give me error. No mistake, it will create the graph. Now this is just for visualization purpose. Remember, I will not recommend use mermaid draw method because this is still buggy. Okay, sometimes it doesn't show correctly what we are visualizing. But yeah, for demo purpose, I have maintained this for you. So start, hello, bye, end. Simple and straightforward. Now, remember, this is the compiled graph, the runnable object. I am using runnable.invoke. Can you see like how we use chains? Whenever you create a chain, we use invoke only. LLM, we use invoke only. Similarly, in the graph also, once your graph is compiled, you can use invoke method. So I am saying invoke message Prashant. So what happened? It first executed the hello node. This has been printed. Later it executed the bye node. This has been printed. The final message is bye hello Prashant. Why bye hello Prashant? Because if you see the logic of hello, what does it return? It will return hello Prashant. Now this hello Prashant will be given to whom? Bye. So bye will receive what? Bye hello Prashant. Because every time it is saved in the message state, right? So that's why you see the final answer as bye hello Prashant. Now in case if I don't supply anything, see I get an error. Error says required one positional argument input. Okay. So here do not get confused when you see the word keyword input here. Actually the keyword is message and this is something which we declared on the top. But when you see the error, you see the word input. Input means whatever is expected by your state object that you haven't supplied. That is the interpretation. And deliberately I have kept this error for you to just make you understand that just by seeing the word input, do not get distracted. Do not say, Prashant, I never created a variable called input. What input is referring? Simply it means he is referring to the fact whatever state you have prepared, whatever inputs are expected in the state, that you haven't supplied. That's what he's trying to say. Simple, everybody? All good till now? Kindly confirm. A very simple hello world. Okay? Now, very, very important. Very, very important. For this demo, I want you to create a different environment. Okay? Because the previous environment had only LangChain. And remember, LangChain, LangGraph, and the dependency tools are version specific. There can be code breaks if you don't choose the correct version. So what I have done for you is, I have prepared a requirement.txt, which you can use for LangChain plus LangGraph. So I will recommend you all to create a new environment for LangGraph and install requirements.txt in that environment. Do not mix up with your existing LangChain env is my recommendation. Okay. So I'll do one thing. First of all, let me go ahead and let me share everything in the Google Drive. I'll help you with the step-by-step process. So just give me 1 minute. I'll also share the notes that I've prepared so that you can even go through the notes. Today is day 7. Let me share the notes. December is here. Just now I realized today is 1st December. I don't know about others, but I don't know when this entire year went off. Everybody in the class, please check your Google Drive, day 7 folder. You should have access to the requirement.txt file. I mean, prepared it in a proper folder structure so that you can understand what's available in what. Check and confirm. Those who still need Google Drive link, take it from here, take it from the chat. Perfect. So first thing first, what do you need to do? You need to prepare your environment. After preparing the environment, then you can execute the code. Okay? Hope the instructions are clear. Kindly confirm. I guess everybody knows how to create environment by now. Yes or no? Contact create minus n. Refer to the previous notes, everybody. This time give some different environment name. For example, LangGraph. For example, here if I want to execute, which LangChain? So I have prepared another environment called LangGraph env. I can use this environment. And it will do the execution. So basically, same thing, only execution will not be a big deal. It's a very simple execution. The only thing is ensure your environments are set up properly. I'll give you 10 minutes time, everybody. Go through this, set up the environment. After 10 minutes, I'll go with the next program, okay? Irrespective of your completion status. Take 10 minutes, go through this. There is no visualization tool directly in the coding level, Jimit. You can use the UI tools for monitoring that is available. Langfuse is there. Those things you can use if you want. But see, we are designing it so visualization doesn't make any sense. Okay. Achuraj, I will not recommend that because there are certain packages whose version might mismatch in LangGraph. So I will recommend you avoid that. Create a fresh environment with the requirement.txt I have given you in day 7. Samir Paul, please refer to the day 1 notes again. There I given the steps to create environment and all. LangGraph compile somewhere where flow is making, I think. Yeah, in this memory object, it creates the flow. Runnable in this memory object, Amit. Rajiv, for now, I will highly recommend don't use LangChain 1. It is still in beta stage. Use LangChain 0.3, that is production ready. Okay? For now. Maybe by February, LangChain 1 will be production ready. Yes, Samir. Same method, only this time is you are using langgraph requirement.txt. Conda create command is same, conda activate command is same, requirement.txt changes. Got it, Samir? Yeah. Guys, 5 more minutes and then I'll proceed with the next program. Rerun the requirement.txt execution again. Still, if you get the same error, you can ignore it and you can try executing the program, Siva. Also, Siva, I guess you are using Python 3.11.13 environment only, right? While creating the environment, you set up the Python version, right? Just reconfirm me that also. Sometimes it comes due to the Python version error. Just recheck that. Another 2 minutes, then we'll proceed with the next program. Thank you. Jimit, for clients who are using Azure Cloud Services, if we were recommend LandGraph versus Azure AI Foundry, what would be the recommendation at high level, assuming based on requirement of LandGraph SDK and full code gives max flexibility versus cloud-based low-code option? Cost is the major thing, Jimit. Azure AI Cloud Foundry is not free. There is a heavy cost associated to it. So cost itself will encourage clients to go for LandGraph. You can use Azure API keys within LandGraph. Okay, you can connect to blobs, Azure Blob ADLS via LandGraph. You can do all those stuff. So this that way you can convince your client. Point is cost will be reduced. That is the main thing. Satish, Prashant, the node entry point could be defined. If so, could it be more one based on logical conditions? Satish, yeah, we are going to see that. Conditional routing, we are going to see that. Mustaq, new requirement of TXT will override the previous text file. Mustaq, create a new project. Create a new project. Okay. Uh, yeah, exactly, Siva. That's what you must use. The name of the environment will be different, obviously, right? Because that environment exists. Actually, you're using minus p. No, you can have the same environment name also. But let's make it landgraph env. Okay, requesting all of you to stop your work and check my screen. Let me show you the second demo quickly. Please confirm the chat if you are watching my live screen. Thank you. Everybody in the class. Confirm the chat box if you are watching my live screen. Thank you. Okay. See my screen. What I shown you is how to create your state using type dictionary. This was the first demo, everybody. Second demo is how to use Pydantic to create the state. I hope you all remember Pydantic. We discussed this Pydantic in our LangChain chains class. I hope you all remember that. So here I am using Pydantic base model field condecimal. This we'll see later. But yeah, what I'm doing here, I am extending base model to my state class. And here everybody see data type. And this is the reason why I like Pydantic. I can add constraints. I hope that makes sense. I can add constraints, you know, min length, min value, max value, like that. Here, optional, I hope you all remember optional. Optional means ID is optional. Even if I don't supply ID, still the program will invoke. If I don't supply optional, it means it is compulsory. It is compulsory. So one argument, one input is compulsory. Two inputs are not compulsory. So here I'll just set up this only with my landgraph env. So here I have just executed this. Remaining everything is same. Remaining everything is same. Hello tool, same. Buy tool, same. Landgraph initialization, same. Node, same. Edges, same. Entry point, same. Compile, same. Visualization, same. If I do like this, I got an error called validation error. Remember, this error can be only achieved via Pydantic. Can you tell me why I'm getting this error? Can you tell me why I'm getting this error? Any guesses? Just read the last line. Just read the last part. What is the error? Exactly. If you remember my Pydantic object, what is the request I given for message? Minimum how many characters? Minimum 3 characters. Maximum 100 characters. How much character I supplied? 2 characters. Everybody understood the usage of Pydantic here? Pydantic validates your input. Pydantic validates your input. Whatever constraints you had it will ensure that it validates it. This error is generated through Pydantic, not by LangGraph. I hope everybody understands this. Next, here when I give the enable.invoke message Prashant, you can see the same output. I can also give ID. ID is optional. That's why this worked like a charm. That's why it worked like a charm. Okay. I'll give you this code, everybody. Quickly go through this also. Oops. Check and confirm if you can access the second code. Why don't you first demo? Vishal, what is typing class? There's no class called typing. Where you saw typing? I guess you're talking this package, right? It's a package basically, which I am interested to use type dictionary. That's it. Nothing more than that. Hmm. Everybody, 5 minutes time. Go through the code. Then we'll go for the next demo. Mustaq, new project. I guess you are using the same. I am using the same project but different environment. So this requirement.txt still is for LangChain. So if you try to copy LangGraph here, it will create a problem. Otherwise, you can put requirements1.txt and create a different environment and put it in the same folder. Even that is fine. Requirements.txt is specific to different environments. Theoretically, yes. Practically, you can have multiple requirement.txt in a single project by just renaming it. Requirements, requirements 1, requirements 2, requirements 3. You can give any text file name. Okay, just now I saw chats. 1 minute, huh? Let me just explore the chat again. Okay, very good, sir. What is state dot message here? I'm calling this message variable. So in Pydantic, remember here it was square bracket because it's a dictionary object. Yuvraju. Here in Pydantic, you call variable using dot. So dot variable name. Okay, object name dot variable name, like that. Next, my current folder. Okay. Now new folder would come to new project, which will have only day 7 and week 1. You can do that way, yes. Or else, like I said, now if you want, you can rename requirement.txt to requirement underscore 2.txt and you can create a fresh environment. Like how I have done. See, I have a different environment, LangGraph env, but I'm using the same folder structure. Even you can do this way. Anything is fine. Do I need to be inside day 7 folder or LangGraph env folder in the to run pip install? Whichever is your prime project folder, for example, November 21 EduRecap batch, in that you should be. I'm assuming your requirement.txt will be inside that. So there you need to create the environment and you need to be inside that. Pydantic is Python framework. Yeah, Pydantic is an independent framework. It's a Python package. Yeah. Okay. No, LangGraph is smarter by the way, Sujya, because you given the flow. Based on the flow is working. Okay. Here there is no LLM till now. Otherwise, LLM would have changed it. Okay, so requesting all of you to stop your work and check my screen. Confirm if you all are watching my live stream. Thank you. Yeah. So this concept is little important. I request everybody to check my screen. This concept is important. Right now, pay attention. See, when you're working on any agentic AI application, especially when multiple tools are involved, one certain thing that you must understand is every tool will take its own time to complete the execution. Maybe tool 1 will complete the execution in 1 second. Tool 2 will complete the execution in 5 seconds. Tool 3 will complete the execution in 10 milliseconds, so on and so forth. So you should also know how to handle execution in asynchronous mode. Asynchronous basically means what? Asynchronous means what, everybody? Synchronous and asynchronous. I hope you all have heard of these terms. Tell me what is asynchronous in general. In general. Not in sequence. Okay. Independent. Not wait for thread. Anurag, very good. Not wait. So see, he will simply perform the execution. He will not wait for anything. For example, here, if you see my screen, I'm using a package called async.io just for some demo purpose. Just observe the behavior, huh? Because this behavior, once you understand, it will help you in long run for developing agentic AI application. So what I'm doing here is right now, I prepared the simple hello world state only. There's nothing different here. For now, I want you to disregard this part of the code. Okay, just disregard this part of the code for some time. I'll tell you about this code later. But if you disregard this code, the only change here is this function is preceded with async. The remaining code is same, printing from hello node, returning the message hello Prashant, like that. Okay, disregard this code for 5 minutes, everybody. So async function means what? It will run asynchronously. It will be not like first hello will run, then by will run. It will wait for hello to complete the execution, then by will. No, asynchronous basically. Now here by also you can see I have prepared a very simple async. Now here to emulate the execution time, what I have done is I'm using async IO to make the function wait for execution. So this is just an emulation. But in real time, this will be what? This will be a RAG call. This will be a LLM call. This will be a function call. This will be a database call. And it will take its time, right? This can also be a web page call, web scraping call, anything. So I'm just emulating by adding some time. For example, I am saying here 1 second time. I can make it 5 seconds for this demo purpose so that you can see things in action. Let me just enable this also. Async IO, hello tool, buy tool. If you see, remember buy tool 5 seconds sleep I have given. Remaining right now, see here nothing different. Graph creation is same, no difference in the graph creation. No difference in the graph creation. Now starts the actual part. See, whenever you're creating an asynchronous function, to execute an asynchronous function, what you need to do is, you will obviously create your main function. So this function name can be anything. We call it as asynchronous main function, wherein I'm just simply using await, runnable. Here, instead of invoke function, I'm using a invoke. A invoke means asynchronous invoke. If you check the previous code, and every code you have done till date, everywhere we are using dot invoke command. Invoke is a synchronous function. Invoke is a synchronous function. A invoke is a asynchronous function. So if your function is a asynchronous function, you need to use a invoke. If your function is a normal function, you will use invoke. Now here, when you're running a .py file, this is the way how you execute a asynchronous main function. But obviously here you will not use this because you're running a Jupyter notebook. For Jupyter notebook, you will say await main. So for example here, let me execute this part first, the main part. I'll not execute this. This I kept only for reference, just to inform you that if you ever create a .py file, rather than working on Jupyter notebook, you need to use this line. Here when I execute this, see, first hello node 1, now you will wait for 5 seconds. 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, the program will complete the execution. That 5 seconds was an emulation basically. But the thing is, yes, this is a simple example of asynchronous execution. Now, apart from this asynchronous execution, you need to be aware of different streaming output options, output streaming options. So here in LangGraph, we have these many modes. We have value mode, which will give me the values of each step. We have update mode, which will only show the changes done in the variable. We have the custom mode, wherein you can define your custom output. We have the messages mode, which will return me the data and the metadata, which is useful for LLM. And then we have the debug mode, which shows the complete debug info. Now here I have just said in one line of code, but if you see below, I have explained each method in detail below. So for example, here I'm running it in values mode. So to set it up the stream mode, this is the parameter. So runnable.aStream, you supply your message and then you supply your stream mode. So when I run this, what does it supply? It is supplying everything. It is printing everything. So message from hello node, message from buy node, everything he is printing. Now in debug mode, see, debug mode is if you want to see everything, including the node change, which node the program entered, what line he's executing, all those stuff, you can use the debug mode. Debug mode is very useful when you want to check why your LangGraph agentic application is not working properly. If you are expecting some flow, and if that flow is not happening as per your plan, always enable the debug mode. For example, here, I just given stream mode as debug. I'm giving a simple message here, everybody. See here. Step 1. What happened? Type task. Payload given to hello. And input message was Prashant. Triggered on hello node. What is the output generated? From hello node, output this is generated. In the same step 1, remember, observe, the same clock cycle, one more thing happened. What happened? Name hello got executed, there was no error, the result got generated, that is message as hello Prashant. Means inside the message hello Prashant got saved. Inside the message object hello Prashant got saved, and there were no interrupts, there were no errors. So step 1 basically talks in the same clock cycle what is happening. Step 2, what happened? buy node got activated. What input he received? He received the input hello Prashant. See, output of hello became input to buy. That's the confirmation here. Trigger from where? Trigger to buy. This is the buy node output, but see the next part. The result is buy hello Prashant, which is stored in message. No interrupts, no error. Okay, so this is nothing but the debug log. Normally what we do is whenever we have any issues in the application, we enable this debug and we put this in log4j or maybe logstream or maybe logstash depending upon your application design. We put these things there and there we check it via GUI or maybe by reading these logs also, by the way. Okay. Similarly, updates. Updates means what? It will only show the data that is updated. That's it. For example, when I execute this, you can see updates is right now my message variable is holding hello Prashant. So the only update information. If you observe, there is no output displayed here. The function has returned the value. That output is not displayed here. Everywhere, if you see here, see, this output was displayed. This output was displayed when values were enabled. In updates, only what update is happened on which variable, that has been highlighted in every node. Similarly, messages. Messages means what? This is something you will experience when you work on LLM. Messages means it will show you the system message, it will show you the human message, AI message, it will show you the total token values, the one which we saw earlier. Those things you will see when you enable stream mode equals message. Last is stream mode equals custom. So if you want to create custom log or if you want to create some custom information, like console output, you can use stream mode equals custom. Now, earlier while explaining the code, I told you to disregard those 5 lines that I created in hello node. That was because when I enable custom, only and only that point, this code will be valuable. So here what I am saying, this is the old style coding where I am just making my system wait for 0.5 seconds. I am just iterating 3 loop. I'm just emulating a progress bar. So processing step 1, processing step 2, processing step 3. I'm using a writer object here. This writer object is from StreamWriter. This writer object is from StreamWriter. Okay, so StreamWriter is enabled only when you enable custom streaming. StreamWriter object is enabled only when you enable custom streaming. So this is useful if you want to share some intermediate information or if you want to display some intermediate information or if you want to print the intermediate outputs. So let's say if you're debugging your program, you don't want to only see the debug log, but you want to also see the output generated in intermediate outputs like the agent scratchpad output and all, like verbose mode basically. So you can create your custom verbose mode using StreamWriter. You can create your custom verbose mode using StreamWriter. The only thing is when you say verbose equals true, practically your stream mode becomes custom. When you say verbose equals true, practically the stream node becomes custom. So you see this output. Basically, when I execute this, you will see it is emulating like each step has been done. And here buy node waiting for 5 seconds. After that, it will complete the execution. And then, by the way, just to keep you informed, you can enable multiple stream modes in one single execution, the way how I've shown you, using a list object. So here I enable custom values and debug together. So when I execute this C, I'm seeing the debug value. I'm also seeing the progress step. I'm also seeing the, update I haven't given, sorry. So I'm also seeing the values, everything here. So you can also do this, by the way. This streaming mode is very useful in your debugging phase, everybody. I mean, if you want to see the complete flow of the program, if you feel that the program is behaving weird, enabling these stream modes will actually help you to understand how the program is behaving for a given input. Very, very useful. This is an indirect way. I repeat, this is an indirect way of troubleshooting or basically understanding your program flow. Okay, hope everybody got an idea. Kindly confirm the chat box. Of course, you need to go through the code, practice the code, no doubt. I went little complete in uniform flow. You need to go through the entire code again. Okay, let me share you the code in the Google Drive. Let's call this as a sync example. the folder. Yeah. I will do and I'll share you my code because I made some changes, right? Let me check it from here. Everybody check and confirm if you can access the async example. Yeah. Go through the code, everybody. Go through it step by step. Vivek, what is the loop doing in I in range 1 to 3? Which would this one, right? So it will actually print this basically. The processing step 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3 like that. Here I just created the emulation of progress bar just to show you how to add a custom writer, how to enable custom writer in the streaming. So that is executed below. Okay, Vivek? This will be not available in the normal execution. This will be only enabled here when you enable streaming mode as custom. Here. There you will see these messages. So these messages are emitted through the stream writer, and in the loop I just emulated each processing step with a sleep of 0.5 just to show the processing, nothing more than that. We will call runnable.a invoke actually, yeah, at the end only. Yeah, obviously, see, after creation of everything, when you do a test, at that time you will call. In fact, when you create a test case, we actually call a invoke with all the stream modes, and we compare it with the test case output. That's how we do the testing of these apps, Vishal. Not in between, of course, at the end. Here we are checking the logical functionality of the application, not the syntax functionality. What is the difference in the print update chunk and print chunk? In this example, you'll not see a heavy difference, frankly. See, if you say print chunk, first of all, print chunk means I'm just printing this, which I'm taking from different stream mode values. Here, when I said update, I just given this name. I'm still printing chunk only, no difference. Just to show you, yeah, this is the update done, this is the update done. This is only for explanation purpose, Surya. Sorry, Anurag. When we run parallel chain, are we not emulating a sync? No. Uh, no, it is still synchronous. Asynchronous is different. Yeah, in parallel chain, basically, whenever the last chain completes the execution, then only it will show the final output. In asynchronous, whenever one node completes, it will show the execution irrespective of second node's status. That's why it's called asynchronous. Clear? So technically, it's a synchronous execution only. In actual project, sync asynchronous is used. Both are used. Mustaq depends on the sorry. Both are used. Mustaq depends on the use case. I mean, depends on the functionality requirement and all. Most of the time we push to use synchronous. That's the thing I have observed in market. Thanks, we'll need to check as it produce output correctly. But okay. Can we demo two branches and tasks done under it? Chicky, eventually. Today is just introduction. We are going to see many things in action. And what you're asking me, we are going to cover in tomorrow's class. Conditional routing, LangChain memory, sorry, LangGraph memory, and LangGraph tools. So in tomorrow's class, everything will be clear. Okay. What is the difference between messages and updates? It's just streaming mode. So update basically means whatever change is happening in the variable, that will be printed. So earlier message was null. Yes or no? When we start the program, what is message? I'm talking about this variable inside the state. So initially it is null. Agreed with? So update shows what? If there's any change happening in the message variable, that will be highlighted. So for example, when it went to hello node, message holded what data? Hello Prashant. So he's showing the, okay, this has got updated. When it went to buy node, what happened? Message is now updated with this data. So update shows change of data in the given variable. Clear, Veer? So this update is very useful when you have 20 variables and you want to monitor which variables are being changed, updated. So out of 20, if one or two variables are updated, you can figure out one from the update stream, short and sweet. Anurag, no worries, take your time, no worries. Just ping me on the day when you complete and submit it, okay? At that time, I'll check it. So everybody in the class, I will deliberately stop for the day because I don't want to jump into new concept of land graph. Today, I want you all to assimilate whatever we have learned. If your workspace is not created, ensure your workspace is created. Tomorrow's class, we are going to see conditional routing, land graph memory, tools and LLMs. So still we are in our agenda. Don't worry. If you remember, today is what? Day 7. We learned the land graph prerequisite. Tomorrow we are going to learn conditional routing, land graph memory, reducers, tools. Okay. And day after tomorrow is the real application that you'll work with. That is agentic RAG. So within 2 days, you will be master in your land graph part, everybody. Okay. Can we discuss the assignment? Are we getting evaluated? No, you're not getting evaluated based on the assignments that I give you. So don't worry about that. That is only for your knowledge purpose. And yeah, I will be observing your assignments. Last 2 days, I was in from production issue. Yesterday only it got resolved. Night 2 o'clock I have slept. Okay. So I haven't saw the Google Drive yet. Today I will be observing the Google Drive. I'll be checking those submissions who I have done. And I can give you some comments or suggestions on what improvement you can do. So that's the goal behind it. I will be sharing you my version of solution by tomorrow or max by day after tomorrow because I want others also to get a fair chance to complete the assignment. I was not able to attend last week due to so and so. Okay, let me know the assignment complete. I shall. So Vishal, for now, please go through the entire videos in sequence. Okay, assignment was given on Thursday, if I'm not wrong. So you can go through everything. It was related to RAG. So for now, rather than assignment, focus on completing the videos. Ensure all the programs that is given by me is clear to you so that you can follow this class. Yeah, Shubham, that I'll be giving you by Wednesday max. Okay. Both the assignment solutions and not only this, even eventual assignment solutions also I will give you. So everybody, I'll deliberately stop for the day. Okay. If there's any questions and all, you can go ahead and start firing your questions, sir. I'll not take any new topic right now. Are we go? Sorry. Okay. Are we going to get another assignment or project on agentic AI to practice? Yes, Christine, of course. Once we complete agentic RAG, in fact, tomorrow I'm going to give you one assignment on LandGraph after we complete LandGraph memory tools and conditional routing. Day after tomorrow also there will be one assignment. Day 10 also there will be one assignment. So 3 days constantly I'm going to give you assignments. And on day 10 onwards, from day 10 onwards, whatever assignments are there in Edureka platform, you need to start work on that also. I will recommend create your own solution. You can use their solution as references, but try to create your solutions. Okay. Now the learning part will be more. You need to take more efforts. We have covered almost all prerequisite. Tomorrow we will also cover prerequisite of LandGraph and we'll be totally ready to set up our applications. Okay. Is there any caching concept in that? Yes, I mean recently there's a caching concept came in that. It's not in the scope of our course, obviously, but yeah, there is caching. You can use caches to save the frequent inputs. What we say, the chunks, the frequent question chunks will be saved in a cache memory. We have that concept actually now. We can use NoSQL solution for that. We can use Redis for that, like that. Can we get Google Drive? Google Drive link? Though for those who missed out, please make a note of the drive link. Streamlit, wait, Surya, let me complete land graph, then we'll see the Streamlit part. Actually, in my agenda, directly speaking, when we start deciding the case studies on Aulna, at that time, one of them, I'll do it with Streamlit for you, okay? Maybe on day 12, I will do it. Day 12, agentic patterns, I guess 1.5 hours will complete agentic AI design pattern. So half an hour I'll spend on Streamlit. I'll just put the Streamlit tentative here. Airtable can be used as a part of caching, agreed, Chiki. However, Airtable can be used for multiple functionalities. Caching, yes, it can. Uh, if we run into issues with Edurek assignments later on, do we raise a ticket? Uh, See, till day 15, I'm available, Jimit. Yes or no? So try to do it within that time frame so that I am accessible for you. Okay, based in the live in the class. If after class, if you face issue, you need to raise support ticket and Edureka team will help you with that. Okay. But try to do it within the scope of our live lectures. Okay. Mustaq runtime error so and so so and so so and so so and so. You are getting this traceback error when you're calling this code, I believe. Am I right, Mustaq? Yeah. So this code will not run in Jupyter Notebook. To run any function in Jupyter, you will use this code, and that's why this code I have deliberately kept for you. Okay. This will only run when you're creating a .py file. In production, that's the code is stored in Jupyter Notebook Python files. Python files, Susendran. Jupyter Notebook is only good for study purpose. Production, we always create Python files. We always create Python files. In fact, I'm just showing you, not jumping. Let me show you something. This is how typical application looks like. Can you see? So it's a .py file, LLM enabling, creating the response schema, prompt infos, destination changes, router chain, encouragement chain, core logic, Streamlit UI. We create .py files for production. Okay, Sushendra? So basically, like this application, just for fun, I'm showing, don't deep dive into this. My humble request. Sometimes I feel this is a threat for me, but shall I do it? CD, sorry. So here it will be like something like CD, day 7. I will say here Streamlit, app, Streamlit, run, career advisor app.py. If I execute this, it will open a web UI, which is nothing but an AI career advisor. Tell me your goal. I want to become an agentic AI engineer. Currently, I am a DBA. Please help me. So it will generate a career plan for me, basically. Oh, I think I have missed out something. No worries. Point is, you will be creating this kind of app maybe on day 13, I believe. Okay, I'll be helping you with that. This is the Streamlit web UI, by the way. Okay. I think I missed out the intermediate code part while copy pasting. Yeah. Router chain not created, correct. Yeah. Okay. But I hope you all are getting me, right? End of the day, you create .py files. This notebook and all is good for learning purpose, to understand individual syntaxes, to assimilate all the new concepts. That's it. Once you're done with Streamlit, get into .py. That's the real deal. Okay, any more questions? If there are no questions, please type NQ. Huh? If there are no questions, requesting you all of you to type NQ. NQ means no questions. Land flow and snippets. Land flow, no, sorry, sir. I'm pretty sure I will not get time for that. I'm pretty sure about that. Let me see if time is available. Let's see what I can do. Lang fuse, lang flow. These are good concepts, to be very frank, but not in the scope of our 30 hours journey. Okay, so thank you very much everybody for attending the class. Once again, same process, fill in the feedback forms. Happy with the session, please give a score of 5. Excellent, whatever is the scoring mechanism. And yeah, see you all in tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we'll be continuing with land graph. Thank you everybody again. See you all in the next class. Please complete the feedback. Thank you.